Hi, welcome along to DR Sports. We are here for the World Cup draw today. Joining me, I've got Turkish from AFTV. Glad to have you in the building,
Well,
bro.
what am I doing in the World Cup draw?
Oh, Turkey. I forgot.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah, unfortunately, no Turkey in the draw. But we've got a brilliant draw set up. Lots of teams in it. And, of course, England. Who are England going to get in the draw? I'm really looking forward to see who they are going to get. Of course, England last time semi-finalists in the World Cup.
Yep.
Can they go one better? Got to the finals, of course, of the Euros. Can they go that next step and win the World Cup, which, of course, is taking place in Qatar, which is a bit controversial in itself in that, you know, it's going to take place in the middle of a Premier League season.
Yeah, in a place that, football is not really that big.
Yep, and a place that's had a lot of controversy around it as well.
Yeah, understandably
in the
so.
building of the stadiums and, the loss of life and things like that. But it is taking place.
Yeah, it's happening. December World Cup, first time in history.
What's your thoughts on that, Because we talk about we want to take a World Cup and we want to take it global. We want the World Cup to be right around the world. The World Cup's been in Europe, obviously, numerous amount of times. It's been in America.
Yeah.
It's been in Africa, in South Africa. The sort of two guys who were responsible for getting it in Qatar, and Sepp Blatter, and that they're no longer here, are they?
They're gone.
Yeah, and gone under a real clout.
Yeah.
So, but listen, it's here now. It's going to take place in Qatar, and the one thing we know, the stadiums over there, and everything over there is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah. Obviously, visually, we've seen the city and we've seen the infrastructure and the stadiums and all of that. And obviously, it's very fresh, very new. It looks excellent. With the good weather added on top of that, I'm sure people will enjoy themselves out there. If you're going to support your nations in the World Cup, you're gonna have a good time.
Well, listen, let's take a look at how they're going to do this draw. It's been divided into 4 pots, right? Each one of these pots hosts different teams, and that's how they're going to do the draw. Now, pot 1 is the pot that contains all the seeded teams, right? Qatar are in that pot, as the hosts. Brazil, who are the favourites to win the World Cup. Belgium, France, Argentina, England, Spain, and Portugal. Those are the seeded teams. That means that England will avoid all of those teams in the initial round. In pot number 2 is Mexico, the Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, Uruguay, Switzerland, USA, and Croatia, right? So England can draw another one of the European teams out of that second pot, but like a South American team can't draw another South American team, and that's how it goes, right? In pot number 3, Senegal, of course, the champions of Africa, winners of AFCON, Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, Poland, South Korea, and Tunisia. And in pot number 4, Cameroon, Canada, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, and then there's some other groups that are yet to be decided. Of course, the group which contains Wales, Scotland, or the Ukraine. That's been delayed, obviously, because of the war in Ukraine. There's Costa Rica, got to do a playoff against New Zealand. And the United Arab Emirates or Australia versus Peru in a playoff, right? So those games are yet to be... I think those games take place in June.
Yeah.
And then we'll decide who those are. So those are the groups. If you're England, looking at it, who would you... looking at pot 2, right? So England could face Mexico, Netherlands, Denmark, Germany. Germany in pot 2, not even seeded. Uruguay, Switzerland, USA, or Croatia. If you was Gareth Southgate, who would you be looking to avoid out of that? I mean, who would you want to get out of that?
If I'm Southgate, I'm looking at Croatia or Switzerland. Croatia, USA, or Switzerland. I'm looking at those 3 as the teams that I'd prefer. But Switzerland have done well to get past Italy and get into the World Cup itself. So I'm saying Croatia or USA.
Played Switzerland the other day, of course, beat them. I'd say I agree with you on those 3. You don't really want Denmark, they're a decent side.
Yeah, that's one of them ones that they've got a bit of history in international tournaments as well, and that goes a long way.
You don't really want Netherlands either. or Germany. You don't want Germany.
Or Mexico, to be honest.
Yeah, although when I look at all of those teams, I think England can beat them all. Yeah. But, there's some tough teams in there. Pot 3, Senegal, Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, Poland, South Korea, or Tunisia.
The English should be comfortable with any one of those teams.
Yeah.
In terms of the life...
I don't think they'd want Senegal or Morocco now.
No.
Even Serbia. I'm not sure if I'd want Serbia.
No proper fight.
Poland.
With
Lewandowski in that.
Yeah.
Dude, we can beat those teams, but...
Yeah, of course. You're looking at South Korea here, Iran, maybe Japan as well.
Cameroon, this is pot 4. Cameroon, Canada, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, one of Wales, Scotland or the Ukraine, Costa Rica or New Zealand, United Arab Emirates, Australia and Peru.
Again, Saudi Arabia is probably the one that stands out as the easiest of the lot potentially.
I don't think you want in there. You don't want Canada. They're a good side, right? They did really, really well in the qualifications. Beat USA, but they were good.
I don't think you want Cameroon or Ghana either. Like you said with Senegal and Morocco in pot 3. I think when it comes to the African nations playing against England, it's a massive occasion. Yeah. And sometimes that extra, incentive can get you over the line. So I think if I'm Southgate, I'd want to avoid the African nations too.
Okay, a couple of super chats coming in. Benny says, Pulisic, Reina and the Baby Eagles coming across the pond to take over FIFA. Respect on the stars and stripes up the USA. Decent team, the USA. Got a lot of good players in there. Enin says, yo, Rob and Turkish, Wagwan. I can't see Jamaica or Turkey there either. Happy my country, Cameroon is in there. And he says, love for the big 6.
Why can't you just say you're happy Cameroon's in there? Why are you reminding me that we're not in there again?
Oh, man. Ozef says, Maurizio Sarri for the next England manager. Southgate has so much talent at his disposal and wants to play like an underdog. Imagine having a premium ingredients to make a Michelin star meal and you decide to make jellied eels. What do you think of Southgate?
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with that one in terms of, listen, a few years back, let's say before the last World Cup where England made the semi-finals, I understand the underdog mentality. You've got a young side that, still haven't got that experience, but after a semi-final of the World Cup, a final in the Euros, England are not underdogs anymore, regardless of it being a young team. I think now England are one of the favourites to go far in the competition. So I think Southgate has to kind of, look at the other day, for example, Maguire getting booed, and you have a lot of fans against it, you have a lot of fans for it. My thing is, modern day football, you need to, play out the back a bit more fluently, and I think that's part of the problem England have. I think you can have an abundance of talent in the attacking positions.
Maguire's never let England down, though.
I'm not saying he has, but just because you haven't let the country down doesn't mean there's not a better player or a system that will suit more moving forward. Yes, Maguire hasn't let England down, but is he the best playing out the back? Does he aid the attack as well? In modern day football, these are the things you have to look at as well.
But I remember when Maguire first came into the England team, and that's one of the things he was good at doing, picking the ball up, coming out from the back. I don't think he's let England down. Listen, for Man United, he's been awful this season, right? And I get why I don't get fans booing him before a game's even started. That was absolutely ridiculous. But I get why some fans are saying, why is he in the squad and stuff. But every time he plays for England, it's 2 players that I look at, right? And I'm like, for their clubs, I look at it and think to myself, they shouldn't be in the England team. But then when they do play for England, they always do all right. And that's Maguire and Pickford.
Yeah, Pickford.
They ain't really let England down. And so, and on the Gareth Southgate thing, for me, I'm going to defend him now, yeah? England were England were going nowhere really until when he took over, yeah? He's taken them to a semi-final and he's taken them to a final. We ain't been nowhere near any finals, right, for ages. I've got to give a guy a chance. Listen, it's going to be what he does in this World Cup. But for me, and I even saw an interview the other day with Jack Grealish, and he was saying about how the team spirit is excellent.
Yeah.
How he wants to go to play in those games. And we've seen in the past, man, a lot of players, they don't even want to go on international duty. They're not interested. He's the guy who's brought through a lot of these young players, He's got his faults.
Yeah.
And people need to remember that even the Euros, right? We lost the Euros. We lost on penalties. We got to the final. We lost on penalties. We didn't get thrashed in the final, you know? So I think, listen, give him a chance in this.
I agree. I'm not saying, you know what, I think this is the tournament now that if England underachieve, Southgate's gone.
Yeah, that's fair enough if they underachieve. But, you know, the way Ozef is saying, he's saying bring in Maurizio Sarri. Nah. I think Southgate's doing a good job. I really do. Listen, he's not perfect. And, you know, I was listening to a show the other day and they were saying, would you swap your club manager for Gareth Southgate? And literally everyone was saying no. But an international manager is different to a club manager. And I think he's doing a good job. I really do.
He is, Rob. He is. But, you know, a good job coming into an England side that have underachieved for decades. But looking now at an England side that have reached the semi-final of the last World Cup, the final of the last Euros, and their opposition in that final are not in the World Cup. So essentially from that tournament, I guess England are, you know, based off of that tournament, one of the favourites alone. I think now it's different, Rob. I think now, let's say England go into this World Cup and England go to the semi-finals. People might look at that as a positive tournament again, but it's a balance. Is semi-finals positive when you have a team and you look at the teams around and you have a team there with the abundance of talent England have? Is semi-final really good enough now? We just talked about who the favourites are for this tournament, and aside from France, it's hard. And even France is a stretch because look how they performed in the Euros. France, because of quality and because they've won major honours. Aside from that, there isn't an outstanding candidate. So England really. Brazil. I don't know why Brazil are up there. Rob.
Brazil are the favourites. Brazil, they didn't lose a game in qualification.
Yeah, but when
they've been excellent. They're up there because they've got great players.
Yeah, but number one in the world. I don't understand this FIFA ranking thing. Italy won the last Euros. France won the last World Cup.
Italy ain't even there.
Argentina won the last Copa America. Senegal won the last African Cup of Nations. But the best international team in the world is Brazil. How did they work this out?
I don't know.
How did they actually work this out? It's mad. But Brazil have that history, though. Yeah. It's embedded in them. Yeah. So I get that.
Victor Lang says, big up to Turkish from Robbie. I'm from Canada, and I wouldn't be playing them at all. I want England and Brazil or the France team. He's confident, man. Canada, I've got a good team, man. They've got some good players, man. Good players.
When you're
Jonathan David.
Yeah. Who else?
Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, that's a star.
That's just two. They got some good players.
When you're from countries that don't really make tournaments often, I'm like that as well. I want to play the biggest teams because you're not in it often. So
I'm really interested to see how Canada get on in this. You know what I mean? I think they could be one of them teams that could be a bit of a surprise package. Malcolm Glover says, "Where's Nigeria?" In the mud, and then he's got Ghana and a Ghana flag. Of course, Ghana made it. You would have seen our excellent stream that we did the other day, where Ghana prevailed and went through, beating Nigeria. Nigeria not at the World Cup. You know what I mean? Another big nation missing from the World Cup, just like Italy.
Yeah, big up Thomas Partey, though.
Yeah, big up Thomas Partey. He got that goal. JDTV says, Robbie, remember Southgate's statement saying that he will select players based on club form merit. We need new blood, not flops, Maguire, Shaw and Pickford. Now, listen, he did say that, but I think with the Maguire thing, he selected him because he's almost like he's trying to say, because so many people are criticising him, he's trying to sort of say to people, listen.
That's my guy.
He's my guy.
Yeah.
But you can't fault the amount of players that he's given a chance to. Yeah. Even recently, Tyreek Mitchell.
Yep.
And Gay from Palace.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, them players didn't get nowhere near the team, did they?
Yeah, it's true.
Even Saka. Look at the faith he put in Saka in the Euros. You know what I mean? The way I like that about Southgate. Honestly, I really do.
I like it as well, but, at the end of the day...
I can hear doubts.
There is doubts there. I'm not an England fan, so I'm just talking outside looking in. I think there's doubts on the height Southgate can take this team to. It all looks good and well. They look like they get along. Southgate's brought in the young players. But friendly doesn't necessarily win you the major honours. Sometimes a bit of ruthlessness is required. Sometimes a bit of, reality is required. And I think with Maguire, Shaw and Pickford, I guess those are three of the names I look at and say, surely there's better candidates in there. I mean, let's look, Pickford, for example. As an Arsenal fan, Ramsdale adds more than Pickford, guaranteed. But why? Just because Pickford hasn't let Southgate down. Are we waiting for him to let Southgate down potentially in the last 16 tournament and World Cup fixture before we say Ramsdale should go in? Or should we preemptively look at it and say, it's actually better if we go in with Aaron?
I personally would start Ramsdale, but then we're going to be biased, aren't we?
Yeah.
Young Trash Lord says Canada may be decent, but I don't think Canada will be like Senegal of the 2002 World Cup. Remember when they just burst onto the scene?
Yep.
El Hadji Diouf.
Yeah, Liverpool bought about 3.
Yeah. Salif Diao, yeah. Meninda Singh says, I don't care where Canada finishes. We made it, you haters.
I get that though, 100%. I get
Yeah.
that. Sometimes just being there when you're supporting these nations that are very rarely there, it's mad.
AGS says nothing to like about Southgate.
Come
on, that's so harsh, man. He doesn't get flowers at all, this guy. Can Southgate take England to the World Cup final? We've got a poll on it. Can he get to the World? Can he? For you?
Of course he can. He's got the players to do it, and the tournament isn't the best in terms of quality around. So I think he can, 100%.
Yeah. Just going back on. Air A says, based on talent, England should be favourites, and he's put hashtag USA.
Well,
Favourites?
France
They're not favourites. France are my favourites to win it.
Yeah, you look at Mbappe.
Although
Pogba,
Belgium are the...
France have got an abundance of talent, not just young experience as well. And that's where I think England's let down in terms of their experienced players haven't won them the major honours. Henderson actually has won Champions League and Premier League, and he's an asset. But, the French experienced players, they've been at the top level for a long time. That's the big difference in terms of why I put France as favourites. But England are behind. England are in that group behind France. I think England have to make this semi-final. All right. Bare minimum.
What I find out from you guys as well, who you think are going to win the World Cup, apart from we got the poll going on at the moment. At the moment, 53% of you saying no, we can't make the final. Paul Fluid says Southgate is the most successful England manager since Sir Alf Ramsey, right? He says, we've had so-called proper managers who failed miserably with decent squads, e.g. Capello and Ericsson. And these people are complaining. I actually agree with that. It's true.
Yeah, it's true. Listen, again, it comes down to Southgate's done a good job, and he's doing a good job. But there comes a time when the expectations have to rise. And will he be doing a good job when those expectations rise? And I think that time is now. The expectations going into this World Cup are greater than previous years. Why? Because of the semi-final, because of the final. So now expectations are there. He's kind of had a free ride in terms of Southgate, bring in the youth, do your thing, and it's resulted in a semi and a final. Now it's not so much do your thing, now it's achieve.
Savrine says Canada will be the surprise for a lot of people. They aren't just counter-attacking team. We play good football and beat Mexico and the USA with not much trouble. Also beat Jamaica 4-0 as well the other day. Unpopular opinion, says Jerry GV. He says Argentina will win.
I'd actually like that.
You'd like to see Argentina?
Yeah, because Messi, I like, Messi. Messi's the GOAT. Let's be honest here. Messi's the GOAT, and if he adds a World Cup to it, I think that solidifies his place. That's the one thing that people discredit him.
A Red and Yellow Affair says, Robbie, I'm telling you now, Argentina are going to win it. Messi's last World Cup, surely a GOAT cannot end his career without a World Cup.
That's the thing that holds him back.
Well,
I'm glad he got the Copa America at least.
Ronaldo's in there as well, remember, with Portugal. They got a good team, Portugal.
Yeah.
Even though they just sort of scrape through quality.
Yeah.
They're a weird team like that. They always do things like that. They just scrape through and that. But then when they get to the actual tournament itself, they're always decent. Now, they've got a good team, Probably too many stars.
Actually, you just reminded. Behind France, Portugal have the next best team in terms of quality.
Yeah, Jota, Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Neves.
Moutinho.
Just right throughout their team.
Yeah.
Just, João Felix.
That Octavia guy that ruined Turkey the other day. Yeah, there's a few of them.
Right throughout the team, just some excellent players,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it, even though it's going to be a break in the season. Blue Miki says, all I need to see is Portugal versus Argentina World Cup final to end the Ronaldo-Messi debate forever. Well, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
That'd be the most watched final in the history of sport, I think, let alone
What
football.
a final that would be.
That'd be mad. Ronaldo versus Messi for the World Cup. The one trophy that holds them both back in terms of the debate.
Man. Oh, man, that would be brilliant. Could that work out? I wonder if that could work. Well, we'll find out when the draw's made. Fermentum says, although I don't think any team from NA will win the World Cup, I do think big teams will underestimate them and drop some important games to them. And EM says, Robbie, Southgate beat a poor Swedish side, an old Croatian side, and a Denmark side you'd expect to beat on paper. Italy dominated us for 85 minutes. Where are Italy in this tournament? You know what? It's very easy to do this thing. Oh, they beat a poor Swedish side, and they beat a poor this and a poor... What about North Macedonia? How good are they? Italy, they are out of the World Cup because they didn't beat North Macedonia. And also in their qualification group, they drew with teams like Bulgaria. And so don't take teams for granted. Don't just assume to win a World Cup, you've got to beat what's put in front of you.
Yeah.
And to go far in a World Cup, you've got to do that. To go far in the Euros, you've got to do that. And he's done it.
Yeah. I remember that tournament, though. I mean, there is a point there, Rob, in terms of that tournament. Was it World Cup? They made semis. They played Belgium twice, and they played Croatia, and they lost all three. And those were the teams that you look at and you think, those are the difficult ties.
All three. I mean, third place playoff. Do anyone care? Well, so I don't think it's a bit harsh to put that one in. Belgium ranked number 1 in the world, right? You know, the Croatia loss. Yes, it was but Croatia made the final. You know.
Yeah.
So they were a very good side. You know, with players like Luka Modric and that. They're no
next hump for England. That's the next hump. Can you be a side that is also one of the favourites or one of people's favourites in a tournament? Can you do that? Because if you can do that, then you can win the tournament.
Yep.
You need to do that.
Ken Herrera says, come on, Ecuador. Ecuador, of course, surprise package, made it through the South America qualifications, and they done really well, qualified without having to go into playoffs. And Peru in the playoffs. And I'll tell you what, I was at the World Cup in Russia. And if those Peru fans get out there, I'm telling you, I hope they qualified. Yeah. Their fans are unbelievable. Their fans, as a matter of fact, all the South American fans were unbelievable.
African as well.
The Mexicans.
Yeah.
The amount of them that will come over.
The vibe is different.
Yeah,
that's why I love a World Cup. And that's why I'm disappointed that Turkey are not in it, because I'd love to be there. The different vibes.
I would have loved to have seen Turkey.
Jamaica. Remember when Robbie O went to...
Yeah, I went to the 98 World Cup.
That atmosphere.
I was there in Paris when they played Argentina. It was unbelievable. Amit says, Robbie, Brazil is my team. Top attackers, midfield is great, and the likes of Fabinho on the bench. Top depth, and Alisson in supreme form, and Martinelli. Talk to Turkish and tell him here, Amit. Tell him, because he's down in Brazil. Brazil have got an unbelievable team.
You know what? Maybe it's not the Brazil I know. Maybe that's what it is. You know, the Brazil I know, they used to have an abundance of flair, and they used to play the beautiful game, the beautiful way.
Still got flair.
What? Neymar? Yeah, but he's a bit of flair, and you give him one tackle, he might miss the rest of the tournament. You know, at least back in the day, the Den Nilsons and the Rivaldos and that, they was robust with it. So.
I mean, you can't let him get away with that, man. I mean, probably saying no, it's true.
Martinelli, if he goes, I'll be supporting him same way. So if he goes, then
Who do you put in goal for Brazil?
It's a tough one, man.
Edison and Alisson. That's what I'm saying. They've got strength in. It's true what he's saying. Strength in depth.
They do in certain positions, but they lose Neymar from that attacking front line. It's a bit. Who's next? Richarlison. It's not.
Rafinha.
Rafinha decent as well. Good player.
I've got a good team, man.
Good player, but it's not World Cup level for me. Maybe they show themselves in this one.
Ooh, Brazilians are going to get on your
place
there.
When Neymar got injured did he get injured before that semi-final? Or was he part of that? Not semi-final, when Germany smashed them.
Yeah.
Was he injured or was he in that? No, he was in that. It was Thiago Silva that was injured. One loss in that team, and look what happened to it.
Yeah.
So,
Marquinhos.
Another big one.
They got good players, man.
They have, Rob. But I just don't understand why they're ranked first in FIFA World Rank. It doesn't make sense to me. They ain't won a tournament in time.
Brazilians out there, just put him straight. Turkish
Brazilians out there, talk to Rivaldo, because in that World Cup when he cheated against Turkey, I'll never forgive him for that. The ball hit his knee and my man's holding his face and you don't need to do that against Turkey. You're Brazil. I'll never like Rivaldo.
Now we find out the real truth. Now we find out why he hates Brazil. Now we find out. And now it's been revealed. It's a Rivaldo incident that set you against them.
Yeah. And then Ronaldinho lobs Seaman from about 45 yards.
Oh, my God, I remember that as well. Jordan Alfai says, we technically lost the Euros to North Macedonia, he says. Brooks says, Vinny, Rafinha, Anthony, Firmino, Neymar, that's flair.
Not the. I think you would have to watch the Brazil that I grew up watching to understand what I mean. That doesn't frighten me. Even with Neymar there, that doesn't frighten me as a fan of football. So will it frighten the other side? Do you think that frightens France or Portugal? I don't think it does.
Some good
Even
players
England.
there. Vinicius, Rafinha. That's some good players there,
It
man.
has to click. That's what has to happen.
True. But it has been clicking. They ain't lost the game. Fermentum says, I predict that after this World Cup, Premier League teams will be picking up more MLS players as they're cheap and getting better. Kroenke may finally prove an asset, he says. I'm not sure if Turkish are going to be having that.
Hold your breath on that.
Turkish says, T-Tid forever, we're going to miss you during the watch-alongs and the passion intensity for your team Turkey. Big up. We will miss you.
Don't worry, the way Arsenal are going, I'll be back with that passion for Arsenal. But you know what? I'll clock Robbie. Yeah, going into the Euros last year, dark horses, Turkey. Everyone was saying it, not just Turkish people.
Me
and
as well.
since then, 4 Turkish games, 4 live on DR Sports, 4 L's. I think we're done on DR Sports. I think next tournament, don't include Turkey on DR. Just leave us to be in the background.
JD TV says, please read my last super chat. It's important. We did read it, didn't we? Where is it? I don't see it here, JD.
Didn't see it. Oh, JD.
I don't see it. Where is it, JD?
Is that the one there?
Oh, here he is, JD TV. Sorry, we missed that. Where did that come from?
Oh, yeah.
JD TV says, this is how they calculate the FIFA points ranking. Based on this formula, points equal points before plus importance, coefficient, results, and expected results. Oh, dear, that's complicated, isn't it?
But do you know why that's unfair as well? Because when you look at the seeded teams, yeah, how are African teams, for example, going to get into the top seed when basically what FIFA are saying is the African Cup of Nations, we don't rank those wins as high as the European qualifiers or whatever, because the strength of the opposition is how are these teams meant to go and be the first seed and give them more hope to qualify to the latter stages of these tournaments? So that point system's not really fair. That's why you see all the African teams in pots 3 to 4.
Todd Miller says, as long as Portugal doesn't get out of the group stages, England versus Belgium in the final, and England will bottle it as usual, Belgium will be champs. Well, listen, you can't talk about bottle jobs and use the word Belgium. They have been the biggest bottle jobs in the last few tournaments, haven't they?
Yeah, they have been.
So a Red and Yellow Affair says, you must not forget the reigning champions have also been knocked out in the group stages since 2002.
What, every tournament since 2002?
Wow.
That's mad.
I don't think, though, it's going to be in this case,
Not with France, yeah.
EM says, Robbie, with all due respects, fans like you are why the standards are poor. Spain have Enrique, Germany have Flick, managers that have won Champions League and the league. Well, listen, I don't care about that, right? It's what you're going to do in the tournament. The guy just said to you, we've had guys like Capello. At that time, he was ranked like top manager. That'd be like bringing in a Conte, wouldn't it?
Similar level, yeah.
Right, into your team, right? We had Capello, we had not Christian Eriksen. We had Sven Bor Eriksson, again, top-rated manager. They did nothing. Capello was terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that, like you said, international football is different to club football. I mean, look at Joachim Löw, for example, what he achieved with Germany, what has he done in club football. Who was it? Mancini. Mancini had a good, successful club career, but, no one expected him to transition into international football and win a tournament. So I don't think that holds.
Yeah. Krishnan says, good that Turkey didn't make it to the World Cup. Turkish would have been diagnosed with PTSD.
If Turkey make it, that's all I want, just to make it, and I'll feel good. Even in the Euros, I was happy just to be there, but obviously after the 3 games.
Ali Dak says, I just want you guys to know, Senegal fans are not like that. It's just when you give us $1, we give you 100. And same thing with lasers. Don't mess with us. Oh, gosh, the lasers on... that was terrible. The lasers on... No Salah.
Yeah.
No Salah, no Haaland at the World Cup.
Yeah.
No Ibrahimovic.
That's mad. And that would have been his
Yeah.
last one.
Dinesh says, afternoon, everyone. Do you think the standard on sand-based pitch will affect the knees of the players in cricket? The bowlers had problems. It's an interesting thought. It's going to be interesting to see what the pitches are like. The one thing I'll say about Qatar, right, is that everything there is going to be of the highest level. It's going to be of top level. So I don't know.
The heat will be interesting to see. That obviously that suits South America. It might suit the African nations too. How will the European countries cope with that heat?
Yeah, the heat. I mean, you've been to that side of the world. It's really, really hot.
Even though they're doing it in that time of the year, it's still hot. So
that is effectively their winter, but it's still going to be hot. Afternoon, everyone. Oh no, sorry, I just did that one. Joey says England have no system of play, no traditional box-to-box midfielders. What big team have they beat? Them making it far in 18 and 21 was a fluke. I don't think so. And when you talk about England's midfield, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham, these are quality midfielders.
Yeah. Will Southgate do it, or will he go with Phillips and Henderson or something like that?
You've got Phillips, you've got Henderson. Those are good players. Those are other good players to bring in, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a balance to it. Bellingham is such a gem that I'd hope that to see him starting, because I feel like he can be that difference for England.
England got some good players. Listen, me personally, right, it's a very hard thing to win, but I think England definitely got a chance of winning it.
Yeah, they do 100%.
They got a chance. They 100%. Got a chance because they've got... It's not a fluke, like that guy said, Joey. They've got good players.
Yeah.
We hate to say it, but Harry Kane, we got to be real. He's quality. That's just one of the best strikers in the tournament England have got. They've got Grealish, Saka, Raheem Sterling, who's been brilliant at international, probably the player of the tournament at the Euros.
You mentioned Rice and Bellingham already.
Top players, Rice, Bellingham, right, Phil Foden.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of very good players. Sancho, you'll see England leaving at home top quality players. So,
even striker-wise, behind Kane, Vardy.
Look at the right-back position. You could play Walker, you could play Reece James, you can play Trent Alexander-Arnold. England have got an abundance of really, really good players.
That's why it's expectation.
I wouldn't be. Listen, I'm not disrespecting any team, because there's some brilliant teams, but I wouldn't be scared if later on in the tournament England have got to play Brazil. I think England could beat Brazil.
I think England should only be worried about playing France, Portugal, Belgium.
Yeah, I think they probably would be more worried about those teams.
I think those three are the only teams that England should be maybe looking to avoid if you're that type of fan, or looking to beat if you want to face the best.
By the way, guys, please subscribe here. We are virtually on 200,000 subscribers. Can we get to that before the end of the show? I think we've got about 130 people we need to subscribe, and we will get to that brilliant landmark of 200,000 subscribers. So please, get us there. Get us there.
Do it in the next 2 minutes, people. Just scroll down, subscribe, 100
subscribe,
and something,
man.
And it'll be done.
Just press our button.
It'll be done.
Press our button. Listen, there's loads of chat here. DJ Sav J says, spot on, Robbie. Mason Mount, Reece James. That's another two. Mason Mount's another one.
Where's Conor Gallagher from?
English.
He's English as well.
English.
Yeah?
He played for England the other day.
Yeah.
It's another guy. Got really exciting players, and young players as well. Yeah. I'm excited to see this England team. I really am. Joey says, fluke is harsh, Robbie. What I mean is, who have they beat? Sweden, Denmark. I want to see England beat France or Brazil convincingly. Yeah, you get a point there. Denmark are a good side, by the way. There's a bit of Ozil and Sanchez in Odegaard. Unfortunately, he won't be there. No Odegaard there. Thoughts on Hudson-Odoi playing for Ghana, says Hussein.
I've seen... Okay, I've got a lot of Ghanaian friends, and Ghana will be one of the nations I'm supporting in the World Cup. With Hudson-Odoi, the first initial reaction of it was, he's only picking Ghana because they've qualified for the World Cup. And off the back of that...
Which is true.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought was true. But then other Ghanaian friends of mine have let me know that what FIFA say is November this year would be 3 years since Hudson-Odoi represented England at any level. And in that time, he's rejected playing for England under 21s and whatnot because he wanted the 3 years to pass so he can pick Ghana. So it's either he's decided to do it because Ghana at the World Cup, or it's been a long time coming. I think more players should think about doing things like this, because I just don't see how some of the African nations, Turkey is another good example, Poland's another one, Jamaica's another one, where some of our players, because obviously we're all over the world, choose to play for Switzerland maybe, England maybe, France maybe. I just think it needs to be more of a level playing field, because some of these nations are manipulating the system, manipulating the system.
But Hudson-Odoi was born. He was born in England.
Yeah, I was born in England.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, so you'd play for Turkey?
Yeah, and if not Turkey, Ireland.
England call you up?
But by that time, Turkey would have already called me up.
How do you know?
Because if England are calling me up, I must have some talent, because they're trying to get me...
so you're saying Turkey would just get you whatever?
Turkey will get me in. Listen, if they called me, I'd be on the first plane out there, put on that badge, walk out.
You wouldn't be at the World Cup, would you?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
JP says, wait, am I a 200,000 subscriber? Yes, you are, JP. Big up to Ali, big up to Amara. They're all saying we've hit 200,000 subscribers.
Love for the love, people. You already know, man.
Thank you very much for that, man. Really appreciate that. Now it's on to 500,000. You know what I mean? Well, no, we love that, man. I don't know if they can
do that today, though, Rob, man. Let's.
Why not?
Tell them.
No, I love that. No, thank you, people. Thank you. Really, really appreciate that. 200,000 subscribers. Just over a year we've been here, and it's been absolutely brilliant. Now, they finally have got the microphone there, starting to get the draw underway. You know what I mean? Because, as usual, Idris Elba is there in a real dapper black suit. The France manager is there. Deschamps is there. And I forgot that lady's name, but she's a presenter on BT Sport, isn't she?
Yeah.
Right, and they're all looking very, very dapper and glamorous there, and getting ready for the draw, right? Of course, it's going to be really, really interesting. Didier Deschamps, what's very interesting about him? Give me the stat around him.
What's very interesting?
Something that he's achieved that no one...
Player and manager.
Yep.
Yeah, he's won the World Cup.
World Cup winner as a player and manager. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
imagine that,
that's
man.
Mad.
Unbelievable.
French legend.
Amit says, Turkish, this Brazil team has great flair. I knew they were going to come for you. He says, even Coutinho is back now. Also, how are you talking about flair when you wanted us to sign Werner?
We're talking about Arsenal on one hand, we're talking about Brazil on another. Okay, you know what? This tournament, let's see Brazil in this tournament. I need to see the flair that we're talking about. But Coutinho's a good shout as well.
Yeah.
I forgot about
Cheetah
him.
XT says, just happy to see my team Japan in there. Well done to Japan for making it. Congratulations to them. Highest expectation for the Yanks, says Matt. Fomentum says, congratulations on 200,000. Thank you very much. Sam Mills says, Neymar can walk through England. He's a baller. Icabella says, lost that one. This again. He says, it's France's tournament to win or crash out of the competition, just like in 16, 18 and 21. Most consistent team in European football in the last 7 years. France are. I make them my favourites.
Yeah.
I really do, man. Especially if Mbappe, Pogba, they got the experience now as well.
Look at the season Benzema's had as well.
Yeah, Benzema, and then they got a load of young players. Yeah. Unbelievable.
In every position.
They are such a good team. JDTV says we probably need to import young Scottish left backs for the England team in the future. They got an abundance of left backs, and we've got too many right backs. That's a great point. That is. Balogun talking about pledging to the USA. Balogun can play for the USA as well. Hussein
isn't Balogun Nigerian though?
He is, but I think he can play for the USA as well. Hussein says, do you think the World Cup group curse will happen? There's always a big team that goes out early in the group stages, isn't there?
Yeah, always.
DM says they need to shut up and get on with a draw. I agree with you,
That's
man.
what I'm thinking as well.
Hell, they take, that's what we're here for, to fill that in, man, because this draw, man, Jesus. Jason says, just shouting you guys out. Starting to see Turkish everywhere on my YouTube now. Laugh out loud. I'm just hoping my USA can make it out of the group stage. Listen, Big Six, AFTV, DR. Listen, you can't avoid him. Even though Turkey are out, he's here. You see, you're going to be able to be on here. You will be here a lot of the World Cup coverage because you're going to be able to be here, just be very neutral. Speaking on certain teams.
I am supporting a couple nations, but
Who are you supporting?
Ghana and Tunisia.
Ghana and Tunisia. Okay, why Tunisia?
Look at their flags. Deep history of Turkey.
It
goes way back. So yeah, there's a connection there. And Ghana, because a lot of my friends are Ghanaian. I was best man at my friend's wedding a couple of years ago. So Ghana and Tunisia for me. Underdogs, I love that as well. And Partey's there. Come on, makes sense.
Christian G says, hopefully our last 16 curse stops this year for Mexico. I never can understand why Mexico don't do more at these tournaments. Such passionate fans. Mustafa says, love you lot, Turkish and Robbie from Adana.
Well, that's where I'm from. Adana. My guy, big up you. Who's that, Mustafa?
Come on, Mustafa. Adana, is that in Turkey?
Yeah, that's where my family from.
Okay.
Yeah, you know Adana, man.
Big up.
In restaurants, when you see the shish kebab, chicken shish, lamb shish, and there's Adana, the long...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's that
was
from that city, so...
Oh, learn something every day, don't you? Jonathan says, Smithson says, Wenger would be a great manager for us. Heard that before. Many people suggesting Wenger for England. You think he'll ever come back into management?
I think he said something
recently. He said something like that recently, yeah.
That's a good shout. If Southgate underperforms, Wenger maybe go into England and do your thing. You've already got the respect of the youth because of what you've done in football. So.
Yep. Rai Relo says, man like Idris Elba. JDTV says, thoughts on Eddie playing for Ghana in the future. He could do, innit? Eddie Nketiah could play for Ghana.
Yeah, I mean, the option's there.
Yep.
But that's what's funny, like the option.
I wonder if he maybe for the World Cup. I think Ghana need a striker as well. When I was watching them in the last couple of games, I think they did.
Yeah. Probably. Asamoah Gyan's done now, so that was their last top striker.
Right. Kamal says, has the draw started? They're still talking, Kamal. They're still talking, bro. I'll tell you, this draw is the longest draw.
How are they bringing out
Jermaine Genius,
Idris Elba, Deschamps, and then to host the thing is Jermaine Genius? Did they lose their budget halfway through sorting this out?
They've got Carrie Lloyd, who's a big USA female player.
What's an ex-Tottenham player doing during the World Cup draw? I'm not having this. I don't understand. Bring Deschamps back and let him do it.
Yeah, Eastside Nog says, big up Don Robbie, you are doing great things, thank you very much. German Mono says, Robbie, why aren't you there in Qatar? You're an international star. Why didn't they invite me? I can tell you this though, one thing I can say is this, when it comes to the World Cup, keep it locked here on DR Sports. We're going to be covering every single game of the World Cup, both here in the studio, and we're going to have a special setup for it, featuring fans, just like how we did for the Euros, fans from all countries represented here on this channel, and we will also be in Qatar as well. So, fancy a trip to Qatar?
I do. I was thinking, am I off the list now because of Turkey? But Italy didn't make it either, so James ain't on the list, and Jamaica. So Cecil's not on the list, so it might have to be a draw of our own. We might have to do that live as well. Who goes to Qatar and let's draw it out of there?
Yeah. Actually, that's a good shout. Michael Walters says, watch out for the Canadians. More talented than the world thinks. England ain't winning anything with Southgate, says Anand.
Legend coming out now, JJ
Okocha, what a baller. I played with him in a charity match, man. He's still got it. He's an unbelievable player.
Mad.
Stephen Borman, he'd be obviously very upset that Nigeria never made it.
Yeah.
Stephen Borman says, are you lot going to be doing a draw and watch-alongs again for the World Cup? Listen, we're all over it, mate. We're all over it. Brooks says, how many World Cups does Genius even have? World Cup caps. How many England caps does he have, Genius? Not many, yeah.
Probably count it on one finger, mate.
Phil Jones says, what do you think of the Netherlands? Memphis Depay leading the goals, and we have De Ligt and Virgil at the back, who we didn't even have at the Euros for everyone's info. Yeah, I don't think they'll win it.
Nah.
Netherlands, but you don't really want to be playing them.
Yeah, Holland are similar to England in a sense where in my life it's just constant underachieving.
Yeah.
They have talent, but
Them,
they never.
the three underachievers, them, England, Belgium.
Yeah.
I think out of all of them, Belgium, the biggest underachiever. When you think of some of the players that Belgium have had over the years.
I'd say England's golden era. Terry, Lampard, Gerrard, Rooney. That's mad. That's 4 players.
Yeah, but then even like Belgium, Hazard,
De
De
Bruyne.
Bruyne, and people like that, they've all been a letdown. Terry Hickson says, first time in 32 years for Canada. We're proud and ready to show the world we're a football country. There's a lot of Canadian representation there. I'll tell you what, Canada, I'm excited to see how Canada get on in this tournament. I really am.
And Canada and England have kind of got a connection, especially musically as well, I see.
Yeah. Lovely country, Canada. Momentum says, will Steve complain when smaller teams celebrate wins and deflect? If England drops a game, they should win. All jokes. Big Steve weren't complaining about celebrations, was he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
he did.
God.
He mentioned it. I'm going to send him James's video from earlier.
Big up James for that video. That was funny. Phil Jones says, but the Netherlands will make it further than England. Very, very interesting.
Too early to say
very
that.
interesting. Right, now, there's lots and lots of dignitaries in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
They're still bringing it. How many people are going to present this thing?
It's like stars in their eyes. Like, people just keep on coming out.
Bloody hell, how many people are going to be presenting this thing?
Mad.
You can see this is going to be a long thing, isn't it?
Yeah, they're going to go individually and do...
It is like, you know what I mean? It's like Eurovision Song Contest or something, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
bloody hell. I like this comment from DM. He says, Will Smith should make it go faster.
Just go up there and sort
It'd be funny.
Genius out.
We're Will Smith. And presenting Chris Rock.
Ain't Genius used to run, mate.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Genius. How did he get that gig?
I don't know. I don't have a clue.
How did he get that gig?
How many they got out here now? 4 on that. They got 5 on that side, 3 on that. So we still need.
Big
a
up,
couple more people.
good luck to him still. Kimmy says Will Smith steps up and slaps Genius. And what was it? New to Amy. I think he's. Oh, let me just catch the drift of that. There are a few people in there, by the way, saying about boycott. Right now, again, this has been a lot of controversy around it. Controversy around the building of the stadiums and the amount of people who died. Controversy around the fact that, if they're saying, or the talk has been, if you're LGBTQ, right, you go there, you may not be welcome, which I heard somebody saying on the radio yesterday that apparently that's not true. But I think before every World Cup, the only thing I would say is before every World Cup, there's so many stories. I mean, the one in the World Cup in Russia.
Yeah, I was going to mention that to you.
There was like, don't go. I remember like when I said I was going to the World Cup and we was out there for all the England games. We was out there literally from the start till the end. And people were ringing me when they heard I was going and they go, Robbie, don't go. You're going to get attacked.
No,
everyone there's a racist. Everyone. And it didn't turn out that way. The people, obviously not the leaders of that country, but the people were really, really nice. And it was I think everybody said it was a brilliant World Cup.
Yeah, you told me about it.
Yeah, so...
I have my doubts as well because when you read into the stories, it's like, Rob,
it is
you gotta
shocking.
be careful out there. But
yeah, it is shocking for a lot of the... it's a really hard one, man. Because obviously there have been some big problems in Qatar.
100%. Listen, it's not just this is in my opinion. There's a lot of fuckery in the world. There's a lot of things going wrong in the world in various areas, various parts. There's a lot of wrongdoing, and it's brought its way into football. And money is the sole reason behind that. FIFA, the corruption, Sepp Blatter, we mentioned it. It's just that all of that led to Sepp Blatter getting sacked and leaving, and a couple of the people within FIFA getting disbanded, but the corruption has still paid dividends because some of the nations that got it off the back of that, they still go through with it. I think at that time it should have really been given somewhere else. But, in this world that we live in, money talks louder than anything else.
Simply says, football as a whole is corrupt. The sooner people realise that, the better. Morality in football doesn't exist, he says. So, and Dabler says Qatar is the most controversial tournament ever. It's Soviet Olympics all over again. I think as well, a lot of it is the fact that, it's going to interrupt the season. So people are upset
Dubious
about that.
It, yeah.
But
it's an interesting one. Because it's never been done before. I guess it depends on where the teams are when the season gets stopped. If let's say Arsenal are flying high, we're winning back-to-back games, no one wants the season to stop. But if you're in a bit of a bad form, a bad patch, you might want that break.
How are those players going to come back after that break as well? That's the other thing.
Yeah.
If you've got, if you're doing transfers for a Premier League team this summer, do you take that into account? Do you take into account that, if I buy a couple of players from, say, France, or teams that may go deep into the tournament, Brazil.
Yeah, their workload.
What are they going to be like when they come back? How are they going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a risk as well. What they're doing could have an impact on the quality of the rest of the season after.
Is it going to spoil the season?
It could do as well. We've never had a season it's only COVID that really done that to a season for us, where all of a sudden no football, and then we had to wait for the Premier League to resume. Obviously, this time we'll have football in between, but it's still going to feel strange, Rob. That first game back in the Premier League still going to, because it's not the first game of the season. What's it going to be, like the 17th, 18th game of the season in January?
Ghana hopefully will do something. Big up to Turkish for your support, says Ivan. GEOI says England won't win the tournament until Scholes and Pogba come through their ranks. Hendo and Rice are too one-dimensional. Bellingham, great potential. Mustafa says Adana Spor and my team Liverpool.
What?
And Liverpool are my team.
Back again, Adana Spor, come on.
Adana Spor. Italy and Jamaica are boycotting the World Cup, says Stephen. Very funny. Let me just run you through again the World Cup seeds and the pots, because they are starting to get really ready now to make the draw. In pot number 1, these are the seeded teams. Qatar, of course, who are the host nation. Brazil, France, Argentina, England, Spain, and of course, Portugal. In pot number 2 is Mexico, the Netherlands, Denmark, Germany, Uruguay, Switzerland, the USA, and Croatia. Pot number 3 is Senegal, Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, Poland, South Korea, and Tunisia. And in pot number 4 is Cameroon, Canada, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Ghana, Wales, Scotland, or the Ukraine, one of those 3, Costa Rica, New Zealand, United Arab Emirates, Australia, and Peru. They are now drawing the balls. Cafu, the legendary Brazilian player, has drawn out Qatar.
Rob, these men are taking the piss. That ball was red. We already know Qatar goes into the first group because that's what was said already. They're just doing this for show.
Oh, so maybe this
That ball was red. He went and got the red ball and then picked it out. And the Qatar's going to go Group A, and the rest of these don't fill out the rest of the groups. And then it really starts from the
No, but the red ball is because those are the seeded teams. So that's why the red ball's coming out.
Yeah, but why are they acting like they're shuffling it and then picking out the one that you can see is a different colour? JJ, you're better than that, my guy. A1. We knew, look.
A1,
let them do their thing. Let them do their thing. Do you know JJ Koch is a Turkish citizen as well?
Is he?
Yeah, his name's Mohamed Yavuz. He played for Fenerbahce for years. He's a legend out there.
Okay.
Legend.
Right, hold on. This ball that's being drawn out now. Where did they put the other ball in?
That was to say what group A1.
All right, England. England has been drawn out now.
Group B.
England will be in...
Actually, no, it's going to come next.
They haven't even said what group it's gone in yet. There's Gareth Southgate there. You know, I always like that, right? When they draw these out, they all try to look cool and unflustered.
I just got that's Sam. Do you know her?
Huh?
Sam Johnson. I know her.
Oh, okay.
She works for Turkish television. She works out there as a presenter.
Oh, wow. Done well.
Pick up her, man. She's doing well.
JJ, what's he drawing now? He draws out B1.
If we watch
England
all of
have gone
these,
into Group B, by the way.
If we watch all of these and it goes C1, D1, E1, F1, then these are taking the absolute piss.
Yeah, you could have just put them in there, innit?
Just
you
put it in there.
B1, Argentina have just been drawn out. These, by the way, are all the seeded teams, right? So they're drawing out all of the seeded teams first. Qatar have gone into Group A. England have gone so far into Group B. And now I think they're making the draw now for Group C. A bit complicated, this first part, isn't it? Well, where did they put that ball?
Isn't this where Argentina go here? C1, they're actually doing it. Rob, they're taking...
Argentina. So Argentina have gone into Group C. Argentina are in Group C. Of course, as I said, when they're going through these teams, these are the seeded teams: Qatar, Brazil, Belgium, France, Argentina, England, Spain. No one's spoken about Spain, you know. Watch out for them. They're going to be good.
Young side as well.
Yeah, and Portugal. These are all of a seeded team. France have just been drawn out.
I bet you a tenner that they get Group D.
I think I'll keep my tenner on me.
Watch. Look,
France have got into...
this guy's had enough. He didn't even shuffle it. He just went for the red one and said, listen, people, you know what it is already.
This draw looks a bit complicated, doesn't it? Anyway, France are going into Group D.
I'll send you my invoice.
Oh, dear. Oh, my dear. What's the purpose of these group balls, says Rilo. They're taking a piss, Robbie, says Hey Spec. Update, says Philippe. Right, so far, Group A and Spain have just been drawn out. So far, Group A, Qatar, Group B, England, Group C, Argentina, and Group D is France. Right, and then we'll see what group...
They're even highlighting it there before Tim Cahill picks it out.
What's the point of this?
I want to build up some... just put them in and let's get this...
Just get on with it, man.
E1.
Isn't it?
Who's left?
E1. Spain
Portugal,
drawn into Group E. Spain in E. Mickey Rednose says he's taking a piss there. He says Italy in Group I.
That group's solid. Italy, Turkey, Jamaica, and Nigeria. That's a solid group.
They're going to do the alternate tournament. You know what I mean? Stuff you lot. We're doing our own thing. And we're playing it in the summer as well, when people can watch it.
Belgium next.
Belgium have been drawn. Belgium. Next ball out of the hat is Belgium. Roberto Martinez in the crowd.
Feels time ago he done his thing with Wigan, innit?
Yeah. He's done really well at Belgium, but ain't got him over the line yet, has he? I think this is it for him. He's got this tournament, he's got to do something. Of course, Thierry Henry involved as well. Belgium into Group F.
Surprise, surprise.
Jamaica is in Group I. Breaking news, says Dabbler.
Cafu's having fun there. You've only got 2 balls there, mate. Just take one out and we're good.
Cafu, what a player.
Brazil.
Group C is Brazil. He's drawn out Brazil. He's got a big smile. Look at the smile on his face. Big smile on his face. The Brazilian delegates there looking cool. And they, of course, will go into Group G. This is a joke thing, man.
Yeah.
All that time, they could have just said, right, automatically we're putting Qatar in A.
Yep. Qatar was always in A because they start the tournament off as hosts, innit?
Yeah.
But I guess B means England will play the first full day of football, which is...
With the orders of stuff like that, yeah. G1 is Brazil. Brazil going into Group G, which means, of course, they still got to draw out Portugal.
Them lot are sitting there thinking the same thing. What are these lot doing? Just sort it out.
Oh, my God. Right. Portugal.
We're there, people.
They're not surely going to draw that thing for Group H. When we already know. Do you have to?
Who's going to pull out?
Oh, Jesus.
Maybe Sam's saying they're going to be put into Group H here.
And there's this guy, I've forgotten his name here, he just suggested, he goes, they should have a Conference World Cup. Actually, you could put Turkey into that.
Listen, at this moment in time, we'll take it. That group sounds interesting. Italy, Turkey, Jamaica, and Nigeria. I'm telling you, I'll watch that.
I wouldn't put it past FIFA as well, you know.
Yeah,
Conference World Cup to be played in the summer, final at Wembley or something like that.
Give you some
just to generate a bit more money, you know what I mean?
Like this is. They started this an hour and 10 minutes ago, and we're still.
It's a joke, innit? Anyway, listen, it's Qatar, Group A, England, Group B, Argentina, Group C, Group D is France, Group E is Spain, Group F, Belgium. Group G, Brazil. And Group H is Portugal. Now it gets interesting because we're going to pull out the second pot of teams and we're going to be going into different groups. So we'll find out who is going to be playing who. So the first one out is the Netherlands. The Netherlands have been drawn out. Why didn't they just say, like, Netherlands, right, you're straight into pot A or something like that?
That's what I would have thought. It's like they're trying to build up some suspense. Or maybe they are.
Or maybe they are, surely. Then a bit of sense.
They're still getting JJ to... No,
All right.
I don't.
Next one being drawn out is
Oh, nice. Holland,
A4.
France. Holland, France.
A4. So the Netherlands are into Group A.
What's going on here, Rob? What is A4? What's A2? What's going on? Why are they A4? Shouldn't they be under?
Anyway, Netherlands will be happy with that they're in a group with Qatar. Yeah. You know, they'll be jumping up and down there because, you know, they've got the easier group of all the seeds. All of those teams would have hoped for Qatar. Next team out is the USA. I know there was a lot of people from the USA in the chat. This is your moment. The USA have been drawn out. Who or which group will they end up in? We're about to find out. You know, it's complicated. You know,
it is. I'm stopping assuming that. What's going on?
Are they in Group B? Did they go automatically into Group B?
No. Actually, I don't, Rob. Actually, let me not say no, because that's me assuming again.
Right. JJ Okocha.
Highlighted it.
JJ Okocha, guys,
B3.
B3.
England, USA.
USA are in England's group. England will be happy with that, won't they? Yeah, you know, England will be happy with that. When you look at pot 2, the teams in there are, you know, USA, Croatia, Switzerland, Uruguay. They could have got Germany. They could have got Denmark. They missed out on getting the Netherlands, Mexico. USA are a good side, but Mexico have now been drawn out. So Mexico will not go into a group with Argentina, if I remember right. So maybe that's why they're doing the draw. So Mexico can't go into the same group as... Or can they?
No, they can't.
Because they're not classed as South America, are they?
Are they not?
Mexico's not really classed as South America. So yeah, they can do... Yeah, they could go into...
Okay, I didn't
Yeah. They couldn't go into a group with... Well, they could have went in with Brazil as well. Yeah, so yeah, that is right.
Okay.
So Mexico are going to go into Group C, I presume. So that will be Argentina.
C3.
C3, Mexico. That's tasty, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a tasty game. Mexico versus Argentina. Those are the type of passionate games. Yeah. That's a game you'd want to be at, isn't it? Two passionate sets of fans. Oh, that'd be a brilliant game.
And even England USA will, you know, in terms of the fans and the
England
support.
USA. That'd be a great game. Denmark are the next team that's been drawn out. Christian Eriksen, of course.
Yep.
Hopefully, he'll be playing in that.
Yep. France have got a good one there.
Yep. They'll go into the same group with France. I don't think they'd be too happy about that. They would all have wanted Qatar, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Jason Mondense says, "Oh man, USA versus England. This is going to be fun. Mexico is CONCACAF with USA and Canada." That's right, as I corrected that.
Oh, yeah.
Group L, Egypt, Italy, Colombia, and Chile, says Pepper. Wicked. Right, and D3, so that's Denmark gone into Group D.
I guess this is for how the fixtures are played. It must be.
No, you know what? I don't know.
It must be.
You can't draw...
No, but I mean saying, like, not putting them directly under each other. It must be because of how the fixtures are going to play out.
Yeah.
Like, will England play whoever's B2 first and then...
Yeah. There's Lothar Matthäus there. Drawing Germany. Come on, that's a fix up there. That's a fix up, Lothar. Right, Germany and Spain. Now, that is tasty. That is really, you're starting to build towards a group of death there, isn't it?
Ex-heavyweights.
You know, when you get Germany and Germany won't be happy about that.
No, nor will Spain, to be honest, I don't think.
Nor will Spain, but...
2 go through, so...
Yeah. 2 go from each group. That's true, 2 from each group. Germany and Spain. That is going to be tasty already in that group. Right, next ball drawn out in the Group F, which will be Belgium.
Nah, it went E3. So that
Hey, what's happened to it? Oh, they switched it onto another channel.
yeah, they've switched it to BBC Two. So E3. So that means Germany have gone into Spain's group. They
Yeah,
they pick out the
yes.
country and then
They've gone into Spain's group. It's a long thing, isn't it? Right? Keep it here, people. Right? Nearly 7,000 of you in the chat. We're loving that. Croatia drawn into the same group as Belgium. Croatia.
I think they'll be happy with that.
They'll be happy with that, Belgium, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Croatia won't be happy with
Nah,
that,
nah.
but Belgium will be happy with that.
Has Modric retired? I think he did, didn't it? Let us know in the chat.
Let
Has
us know in
Modric
the chat. I
retired?
think surely he's going to go to the World Cup, surely. If he has retired, they've got to get him out because he's been having a brilliant season.
Pull him back in.
Yeah. Right, F4. Croatia into the group with Belgium. Lots of you guys commenting on England versus the USA. Jaden says it's going to be beef. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a seriously good game.
Yeah.
Can't wait for
There's a few
that.
already. England, USA, Argentina, Mexico, and
Argentina,
Spain, Germany.
Mexico, Spain, Germany, those are the standouts, aren't it?
Uruguay, Brazil.
Uruguay,
Actually, they can't go into
they
that.
can't go into
Yeah,
the
they
same
can't.
group as Brazil.
But
That's
Uruguay,
right.
Portugal then.
So they have to be Uruguay, Portugal. Yeah, they can't go into the same group as Brazil, which is a shame because that would have been tasty
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
But they can't go into the same group as Brazil, so they will go into Group H,
Yep.
which is the group with Portugal, which is why they've been separating them out there. And here it is confirmed that they're going into. You don't need to draw it, my fella. We know he's going into Group H.
And he's still there like this.
Yeah, like he's. Oh.
H3.
And Portugal going to get an easy draw with Switzerland. Well, no, they didn't. They got Uruguay. Brazil are going to get Switzerland. So that's what's going to complete that group there. Switzerland now being drawn out by Lothar Matthäus. It is Switzerland in the same group as Germany.
No, Brazil.
That's Brazil, correction. So, just to give you an update on where we are so far, in Group A so far, we've got Qatar and the Netherlands. Group B, England and the USA. Group C, Argentina and Mexico. Group D, France and Denmark. Group E, Spain and Germany. Group F, Belgium and Croatia. Group G will be Brazil and Switzerland. They're just drawing Switzerland out now. And Group H will be Portugal and Uruguay. So already some decent little clashes there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's making me vex Turkey in it now. Man.
Yeah, as it starts to build
Yeah,
out,
it's
innit?
just
You start to see it and think, oh, man.
What was the year Jamaica made it? 98?
Yeah,
Yeah,
98,
98, yeah.
98, man. So far, yeah, it's coming together. Now, we are going to go into pot 3, which is Senegal, Iran, Japan, Morocco, Serbia, Poland, South Korea, and Tunisia. Now, they should be able to just draw these straight, isn't it?
You'd think.
Because,
You'd think.
right, first one out is
Iran.
Iran have been drawn out. I remember, I'll never forget that. I was in France in '98, right, when they played America, USA.
Yeah.
The atmosphere,
Mad.
the fans came out onto the street. It was crazy. I'll tell you, when they beat USA,
Yeah.
that was more than a game. That was more than a game. I remember.
So are they in Group A or will we get to find out? Nah. So
Oh,
Iran-
they're going into group.
Oh, because Qatar. I don't know what's going on.
They look like they're going into Group B.
Yeah, so England and USA
So
joint with Iran.
Iran. So we're going to see a repeat of that Iran versus USA and Iran versus England. I don't think there'll be any love lost in any of those, but Gareth Southgate will be looking on that and saying already this group's looking decent to get out of.
Yeah,
isn't it?
100%.
Iran and the USA, it can't be working out better. And that's no disrespect to Iran. So it's England, Iran, and the USA, but there's some tasty games in there. Ooh. Next team that's been drawn out is Senegal. So they'll surely go into Group A.
Yeah, I think so.
Chris is calling it, and we hope it's not, but he's calling it the war group. Oh,
USA will destroy England.
the
says
nuclear
Admiral.
derby. I don't like hearing them words.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Too much negative history with, you know.
Yeah. Well, this is maybe the thing that brings people together, man. I mean, with football. And that's the beauty of football sometimes. Right, the next... So Senegal have been drawn out, and they're going to be in the group with Qatar and the Netherlands.
Senegal, you know, if I was Senegalese, I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I'll be happy with that because, you know, they'll get past Qatar.
Yeah. And even Holland.
And a good Senegal could give Netherlands a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So that's not bad for Senegal.
Yeah.
That's not bad for them at all. All right, next team coming out is... Who have we got now? We have Poland. Robert Lewandowski's Poland is the next team being drawn out. Jay Rich has just reminded us that it's Mane versus Virgil van Dijk.
No, Mane
In
won
that
the
Netherlands
Salah one.
versus Netherlands versus Senegal. That'd be good.
Personal clashes there.
Yeah.
Liverpool hope they don't, you know, have a win.
Both of them come back injured after the thing.
Or vex with each other.
Right, it's the next team being drawn out. Poland, we know, are going to go into Group C with Argentina and Mexico. Ooh, that's a bit tough so far, that group, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a bit of a tough group for Poland, you know.
Messi should be smiling. Messi should be smiling.
Yeah, Messi would be happy. Messi and Lewandowski, head to
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
That's another clash for you, Messi and Lewandowski. Right, next team out of the ball, should I say, not the hat, and that is Serbia. Serbia with Vlahovic.
Yep. France, Denmark, Serbia.
Right, France, Denmark. That's a tough group, isn't it? Isn't that? Hold on, can two European teams?
Oh yeah, again. So where did they go?
So would
No,
they
no,
go
they can.
into?
Yeah. 2 Europe. So 5 groups will have 2 European teams.
Yeah, but there's already 2 Europeans in France,
yeah.
Denmark.
So it'll go to.
Also, Group E, so it's gone to the Brazilian group. So it'd be Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland. Yeah, because they'd be owning 2 European teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be Brazil, Serbia, and Switzerland. So that's, I think Brazil are going to be happy with that, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Serbia will be no pushovers. We know Serbia always have a good team, good players. But if you're Brazil, you're looking at it thinking
Yep.
Switzerland, Serbia, we can turn those two over.
Serbia, Switzerland would be interesting.
Yeah. Right. The next ball to be drawn out, the team coming out of that one is
Tunisia.
Tunisia, representing Africa. North Africans, Tunisia. Next team drawn out.
France and Denmark. Then they can't. Yeah, it's a
No, but
difficult one.
they go into Group C as well, couldn't they? Oh, no, sorry, they
yeah,
can't.
D straight.
Oh, no, yeah, France and
Yeah,
Denmark. So we're in the group with France and Denmark. Those two will be happy with that, won't
Yeah,
they?
they would be. Yeah.
They'll be happy with that. No disrespect to Tunisia, but they'll be happy with that. Reds 2308 says a walk in the park for Brazil.
Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland.
Still no Canada out. I know a lot of you were in the chat bigging up Canada. We have to wait and see who they're going to end up with, but no Canada out there yet. Next team to be drawn out is Japan.
Spain.
Tomiyasu, Minamino, Japan. Got some good
What's that,
players,
Spain,
you know. The
Germany?
players that are playing up in Scotland as well.
Mm-hmm.
Really good team. Don't underestimate them. They're going to be into the group with Spain and Germany.
That's an interesting one. It is, because Spain and Germany haven't been the Spain and Germany with
I think Spain though are really coming back as a team.
good young
You
players.
know, yeah. So they will be into that group. So that's Spain, Germany, and Japan. That Japanese guy just writing that down, like, looks so
Yeah,
cool.
He's ready.
Not even flustered. Ready for that. Bring it. Right. Next ball to be drawn out.
Who we got left? Korea and Morocco.
Right. It looks like South Korea, that.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's Morocco.
Morocco.
Morocco with Hakimi. Morocco, next one, another African team, North African team to be drawn out. They will go into the group with Belgium and Croatia.
Yep.
Interesting.
This last pot's going to be interesting. I want to. So how's the groups looking?
So then this last team, that's Canada, isn't it? They're going to go into the group with Portugal.
Canada's
Sorry, not
top
Canada.
4. Korea will go into the group with Portugal.
Yeah, South Korea.
So looking now, if you was a Canadian fan or let's say a Ghanaian fan, which group do you want to avoid?
Ghanaian fan.
It's kind of balanced, the groups.
Yeah, it's quite balanced. You want to avoid that Group C. You want to Group D. I think Denmark are a good side. You want to avoid E.
Spain, Germany, yeah.
Yeah, E. No one wants to be in that group, I don't think. Here we go. South Korea with Son, of course.
Into the Portugal-Uruguay group
Into
H.
the Portugal-Uruguay. Portugal will be happy with that.
Yeah.
You listen, South Korea, we know they've always got good players. Always very athletic, as well as skillful, like guys like Son. So that's going to be a tough group, but interesting.
That's who we beat in the third place
Right,
playoff too.
next ball out of the hat. Well, no, they're just confirming the group. Let me do a couple of super chats in the meantime. Big up to Ben Hall. He says, I don't mind USA as long as ITV show us the goals and don't fancy an ad break. And Garth says, Raheem Sterling needs to score versus USA for the culture. Hashtag reggae boys. He's still hurt. Don't underestimate the USA, says PGVO. Pulisic, Reina, McKennie, Arsenal backup goalkeeper. After we whoop you guys, it will be named soccer. And he got Cronky in. That's giving us even more reasons to beat the USA right now. Brooks says Serbia versus Switzerland, repeat of Shaqiri and Xhaka pro-Albanian celebrations where they were fined.
Yeah,
Remember that?
That's why I said it'd be interesting, that one.
Right, we're going into the next pot now. This is pot 4, the final pot, which has Cameroon, Canada, Ecuador, Saudi Arabia, Ghana. Then it's got teams like Wales, Scotland, Ukraine. By the way, here comes the first one. Costa Rica, New Zealand, who've got a playoff, and United Arab Emirates, Australia, and Peru, who have to play off as well, right? So that is the final pot that they are drawing right now.
And one of the playoffs has gone into... How will they do this? So which one's playoff 1?
So this is going into Group D.
Yeah, so this one must be...
So this is going into Group D. So this must be a non-European team then. This must be one of the...
Even the Costa Rica one.
D2.
D2.
So that goes into D2. So ICP 1.
It's hard to really... It must be the Costa Rica playoff.
Yep. Costa Rica versus New Zealand.
Yeah, it must be that one. Because they can't go into... Yeah.
Yeah, but you've also got UAE, Australia and Peru. Ecuador are going into...
Slide into straight Group A, innit?
Group A.
I assume.
That's a good... You know what? For Qatar...
Yeah.
It could have been worse for Qatar, innit? Obviously, Ecuador will be happy with that. Senegal will be happy. That is quite, obviously the Netherlands are very happy.
Yeah.
But that's quite an evenly spread group, isn't it?
Yeah. It's behind Holland. It's hard
to...
I'd say Holland-Senegal will qualify from that one.
Yeah. Well, listen, that group's complete now. Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. That group is Group A. Qatar, Ecuador, Senegal, and the Netherlands. Senegal, of course, the winners of AFCON. So that group is complete. Who are England going to get? So they've already got Iran and the USA. They have got Saudi Arabia.
Can they get them? Can they get Saudi Arabia?
Oh, because Iran's in there.
Yeah.
Oh, you might be right, yeah.
Go to C, probably.
You might be right. So they're going to C with Argentina,
Put
Mexico,
Ghana in
Poland.
Group B, man. I want to see Ghana in Group B because there's a big Ghanaian population in England. Innit? That will be the streets will be buzzing.
That is confirmed, by the way. So Saudi Arabia are going to go into that group. Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. That's a good group,
Yeah.
That's quite a competitive group. Obviously, Argentina will be heavy favourites to go through that. Mexico will fancy that. Poland will fancy it as well.
Yeah.
Poland will fancy getting through that group as well. So that's a very evenly matched group, obviously apart from Argentina. Right, so who are England going to get? Could get Canada, you know. Oh no, but could they go into the same as USA? Oh, from the playoff number two. Playoff number two. So playoff number 2 is United Arab Emirates, Australia, or Peru. Oh, interesting.
Can that go into that one?
Oh no, they can't. Yeah, they can't go into that because of United Arab Emirates and Iran. So that would go into Group E. So it will be Group E, which will be Spain. One of those three, as I've just named.
Germany and Japan.
Yeah. Or was that the Wales UK? No, is that playoff number?
Because Wales or Scotland or UK could have gone into there because it's 2 European. There's only one there, so I'm assuming you must be right. That must be there.
England could get Canada, you know. What's the teams coming out now? They can't because of the USA there, right?
European, so they get
the European playoffs.
So they get Wales, Scotland, or there's 2 British in the group.
Yeah, so Wales, Scotland, or the Ukraine.
It's happened again, isn't it?
It's happened again. England could face Wales, Scotland, or the Ukraine. Which again, that's another. There's pure clashes in that group, innit? Because you could have England, Wales, England, Scotland,
England,
right?
USA,
obviously England, Ukraine,
Iran, USA,
and then you've got Iran, USA. That's a hot clash. But I think if you're an English football fan right now, you're very happy with that group: England, Iran, the USA. And also one of Wales, Scotland, or the Ukraine. You've got to be very, very happy with that group. Yeah. Very happy with that group.
Because Wales won, so Scotland and Ukraine have to play, and then it's still I'd assume
Cameroon have been drawn out now. Cameroon have been drawn out.
Can they go?
Would they go into the group G?
They're going to go into G. Right. Yeah, they're going to G.
G or
because there's a Morocco
because
there.
Morocco are in.
Yeah.
So again, they're going to Group G. That means Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and of course Cameroon.
Essentially, it's done now.
Yeah.
Because Canada's going to go into F and Ghana's going to go into H.
Yeah.
That's a good draw for Ghana, in my opinion.
What, Portugal,
Uruguay,
Korea.
They can get through that.
Could have been worse. Worse. There's no real groups of death, is there? The way it's worked out, is it? You wouldn't say there's a group of death there that you look at and you say, "Oh my God, I wouldn't want to be in that." You know. Ghana has been drawn out. I'm sure Belgium is jumping up and down wherever he is right now. But Ghana and Kwame and that, it's been Malcolm. But Ghana have been drawn out of the hat. And like Turkish has pointed out there, they will go into Group H. They will go into Group H. And
these men are still doing balls for one position in the team. It's H2, my guy.
Big up Hari says they're using 1-2-3-4 in group name to determine who will play. For example, England first match will be Iran. Then since they are B2, second match will be USA. By the way, Ramsdale versus Turner. That's another clash.
Ramsdale's number 1 by then.
Thank you, Robbie, for indicting Ty to my life. Indicting Ty to my life? Introducing Ty to my life. Robbie, you're going to need an Iranian fan, and I'm here. We will, Cameron, so stay in contact, mate, definitely. I'm a Sila. One says, I heard the comments about Croatia, that Belgium is going to be happy with that draw. You're underestimating Croatia again. We're getting it from all angles here, I'm telling you. Someday, Yuvraj says, India will be there, and you'll hear the voice of 1 billion fans. Prayers that happens soon. Yeah, we'd love to see India there. Blue Miki says Ghana, Uruguay revenge for the 2010 handball.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And Suarez is still there.
Suarez is still there. And Suarez is going to get kicked.
Partey's going to go through him.
England versus USA on the 25th of November. USA getting cooked by Saka and Smith Rowe on Thanksgiving. Right, that is it. Those are the teams have been drawn out. Let me give you the draw. Group A is Qatar, the Netherlands, Senegal, and Ecuador. Right? So that is Group A. Group B, England, Iran, the USA, and one of these teams, which is going to be really interesting, Wales, Scotland, or the Ukraine.
Yeah, if it's Wales, I'd say England, Wales qualify. If it's Scotland, it's a tough one to predict.
England will beat Scotland.
No, I mean England will top the group.
If
Wales make it through there, I see Wales finishing second.
Yeah. Group C is Argentina, Mexico, Poland, and Saudi Arabia. Group E is Spain, Germany, Japan, Costa Rica, or New Zealand.
It's a good group.
Group... what am I... Let's just take it a group. Group C... I did Group C?
No,
Group D?
E, F.
Group D. Group E? I done Group E. I'm confused now because...
F now.
Group G. Group G.
EF,
Group F, sorry.
Yeah.
Belgium, Croatia, Morocco, and Canada. And Group G is Brazil, Switzerland, Serbia, and Cameroon. And Group H, Portugal, Uruguay, South Korea, and Ghana.
That's the best group for me. H, Portugal, Uruguay, Ghana, and South Korea. You get one nation from different areas in the world. And Portugal's the outstanding favourite there. But look, Uruguay, Ghana, who wins? Ghana, South Korea. South Korea, Uruguay. It's very difficult.
Well, you know what? We're going to do that. Let's go through the groups now. And then you give me your predictions, right? So for who the two teams go through from every group.
Yeah.
Qatar, Group A, Qatar, Ecuador, Netherlands, and Senegal. Now, Netherlands are obviously the standout in there. It could be anyone from them other teams there that go through. But for you?
Holland, Senegal.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Holland and Senegal.
Yeah.
Group B, England, Iran, USA, Scotland, Wales, and the Ukraine. You know what? That's not as easy as you think because there's a lot of team games in there that are going to be played with a lot of passion. Iran versus the USA. USA versus England. England versus Scotland, Wales, or possibly the Ukraine. It could be as well.
England, Iran as well. There's
Iran.
Every match there has something behind it. I think England topped the group. And I think Wales finished second because I expect Wales to make it.
I don't. I think England topped the group. USA finished second. That's what I think.
Let's touch on this group. In January 2023.
Iran having sort of T-shirts a la Millwall. They don't like us.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Group C. Group C. Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, and Poland. That's not an easy group.
Argentina should top it. Poland should finish second. Lewandowski. I think he'll get them over the line against Saudi Arabia.
Could Mexico finally turn up in one of these tournaments?
I think Mexico's kind of golden era's past now. Remember that? Who did they have? Vela, Dos Santos. They had Maxi Rodriguez. He scored a banger in a couple World Cups ago.
Yeah, you got to go. All right, Argentina and Poland. Group D, France, the UAE, Australia, Peru, one of those three. Denmark and Tunisia.
France and Tunisia.
Tunisia?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
France and Denmark for me. Going through. Spain, this is Group E. Spain, Costa Rica, New Zealand, Germany, or shall I say Costa Rica or New Zealand, Germany and Japan.
Portugal.
Huh?
Who'd you say?
Spain.
Oh, that group. Sorry, Spain. Spain to top the group, Germany to finish second.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
But Japan can do something in
Japan could spring up for surprise, but
Yeah.
I think Spain and Germany. Group F, Belgium, Canada, Morocco, and Croatia.
Belgium top the group. It's hard to predict second, so I'm going to go with what the chat's been saying.
Evenly matched.
And say Canada second, and I'll listen to you guys and see what they're about. Let's say
Morocco with Hakimi and guys like that. Croatia, of course, you can never write off.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a tough one.
Yeah,
let me go with the chat. Let me put Canada as a surprise package in there, and Belgium. Group G: Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon.
Brazil topped the group. Serbia finished second.
Brazil topped the group. Switzerland finished second for me. And Group H: Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. Of course, the repeat of the handball derby.
Yeah.
Everything's a derby now.
This is tough, Rob. Portugal to top, Ghana to finish second.
Portugal to top. I don't write out South Korea either, man.
I just want Ghana to do it, so I'm going to back them and say second.
I want Ghana. I think I have to say Uruguay.
Yeah, I think in terms of quality, I get that.
Yeah.
I get that.
Okay, so those are the groups. That's just super chats flying in left, right, and centre. Amit says, oh no, sorry. Emma Smith Rowe and Saka will show Kroenke to sell, says Dr. Phil. Presley says, I could rep the Dutch with Fuad for DR Sports, okay? They said we're going to be getting people in repping each and every country. Case says, Robbie, I don't see Nigeria. It's coming home. You're wicked. You are wicked. Bye-bye Tunisia, says NN. That's wicked as well. Partey versus Torreira, says Don Arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
Uruguay and Ghana. Oh, I missed it. Oh, I just flew past that one. USA will smoke England like it's 1776. Kroenke head, says TV.
If we get Darwin Núñez in the summer, that's another one that might be in that fixture.
Official World Cup opening match: Qatar versus Ecuador. What dreams are made of? And then he's got a laughing emoji, so he's obviously not feeling that opening game. But Qatar versus Ecuador.
That is a funny opening.
That is a funny bit of an anticlimax opening game. But listen, all the games will matter. Morocco haven't lost one game in the qualifiers. Most goal scores, but we ain't good enough. Wow, says Al Gawapu.
What group is Morocco in again?
That was Turkish, by the way. I said Morocco a very good team. Based off of what I saw in the Africa Cup of Nations, though, not sure if I'd see them going through. Akash says, look at Switzerland's record in the last few tournaments, but they're a decent team. Todd Miller says, US will smoke England like it's 1812. Bowley in. Listen, man, I don't think so. Canada for the win, says Bako. England struggle against the Netherlands or Senegal in the second round, says John Smith.
So is that done as well then?
Belgium and Canada will go through, says Billy. So lots of you coming through in the chat, loving it. By the way, thank you very much for getting us to 200,000 subscribers today. Really looking forward to that. Really grateful for that. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to the World Cup now. England will play Iran in the opener on Monday, the 21st of November. The USA on Friday, the 25th of November. And Wales, Scotland, or Ukraine on Tuesday, the 29th of November. Oh, I want Scotland. Ukraine I'd love for the story to get through, but I'd love Scotland or Wales, man.
I was Tierney, Scotland. That's my captain there. So I'd like Scotland to get through at the three. But I think, Bale and Wales. Yeah. When Bale puts on that Welsh shirt, he's a different Bale. So
he's a different Bale. He's a different Bale. Wow. It's been completed. Cave says, I'm happy for Senegal. Think they will advance. One Guna says, Brazil will win the whole thing. That's my prediction. Who's your prediction to win the whole thing?
To win the whole thing? Cool. You said Brazil. I'm going France.
England.
So you're changing it from Brazil to England?
I'll change it to England.
Cool.
England. I think they've got a favourable group.
So it's coming home, yeah?
It's coming. Football's coming. Oh, it's coming. Oh, no, I better not say that. Iran will shock you lot. We're no Tunisia, says Sefer. Uruguay will top the group again, says Artemi. So everyone's in there, man. I'll tell you.
When it comes to your country, it's a lot.
Yeah, man. Jason says, I'm so hyped up for this World Cup. I'm going to enjoy USA England banter. It's going to be a Black Friday, he says. That's going to be a brilliant game. Kumaran says, stop it, Robbie. It's not coming home. Argentina, says Moreira. Canada to top the group there. England will face France in the quarters if they top the group. Let's not get into that again. Remember last time, everyone was in meltdown because England didn't top the group, and then they ended up getting a better, more favourable draw. I'm just looking forward to it. It's going to be good. England, USA will be like Trump. There's a guy. The Black Star says Kobe. You all in the chat. Listen, we're going to round it up now. Let me just run through it again. These are the groups for the World Cup. And it goes like this. Group A will be Qatar, Ecuador, the Netherlands and Senegal. Group B, England, Iran, the USA and one of Scotland, Wales and the Ukraine. Group C is Argentina, Saudi Arabia, Mexico and Poland. Group D, France and one of the United Arab Emirates, Australia, Peru, Denmark and Tunisia. Group E is Spain, one of Costa Rica and New Zealand, Germany and Japan. Group F is Belgium, Canada, Morocco and Croatia. Group G, Brazil, Serbia, Switzerland and Cameroon. And Group H is Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay and South Korea. That is the World Cup draw complete. I want to thank you guys very, very much for being on this stream today. It's been brilliant. Just a couple more super chats just before we go. Will Clough says, as an American, excited to play England. Hopefully, another Rob Green moment. Iran will be tough too. It will be. Isaiah says, you Yanks got to show what we... He says, us Yanks have got to show what we're made of. And Lucas says, Alphonso Davis versus Hakimi. He's got eye emojis. That's going to be a great clash. Two of the real great fullbacks in the world. Turkish, thank you very much for coming on, man. We really appreciate you coming on today.
If we're going Qatar, I want to cover Group H. Ghana, Portugal, South Korea, that in Uruguay. Those vibes, I can see it there. That's
Not Turkey?
Not Jamaica either, I'll tell you that. And James, if you're watching, not Italy either.
Not Italy either, James. One more from Khalid. He says, Group G is the same exact as 2018 World Cup, guys. That's amazing. And Anido says, Tunisia will beat France just like Senegal did. Well, we will see. Looking forward to it already. Buzzing for the World Cup already. Thank you very much to you guys. Once again, thank you for getting us to 200,000 subscribers. Don't forget, tomorrow is the Saturday football show. The guys are going to be sat right here. Loads of games happening tomorrow. Matt is back. Also, Alex is back. And we've got a great panel discussing all those games. Tune in at 2:30 tomorrow. You don't want to take it anywhere else apart from the Saturday football show, discussing great topics, great banter on it as well, and also bringing you up to date with all of the goals as they go in. Thank you very much. Have yourself a great weekend, and the draw is complete. It's coming home. It's coming.